All of the members, there's 5 of them, they all went to Tufts, however, never at the same time. They did not overlap, any of them, but they were all part of the men's singing group there, the Beelzebubs. And so that's Tufts, and that singing group is their connection, and they've been together for 51 years. And so yeah, they made up for not overlapping in college, they've made up for it after college. So they sing a wide array of things, music, swing, jazz, pop. It's quite a selection, and I think we're all going to really love it. So glad you could be here, and so please join me in a warm welcome for Peking and the Mystics.
Thank you. Good evening. Now, we're not serving dinner tonight, you know. We were wondering about the 5:30 time, whether you were expecting dinner, but...
Just cocktails.
But the music will be very tasty.
Okay.
So I asked my family doctor just what I had. I said, doctor, 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 now can you tell me what's ailing me, doctor? And he said, yeah. Oh yeah, yes indeed. Yes indeed. All right, really need good love, squeeze me tight. Don't you want your baby to be alright? Be alright. I said, baby. Now it's for sure. It's for sure. I got the fever. Yeah. You got the cure. Got the cure. Everybody say yeah. Oh yeah. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. All right. I really want to be good love. Good love, baby, love. All I need is love. All I want is love. All I need is love. All I want is love. Love it early in the morning, love. Love it late at night. Love. Hey, everybody, good love. The Young Rascals. They later became the Rascals. But Young Rascals came out about 1964, 65, Jersey group. They actually warmed up for a bigger group at Shea Stadium in 1965. They warmed up for the Beatles. The Beatles landed, yeah. And they made it into the Hall of Fame, so we decided we're going to open the show with those guys. Another Hall of Fame guy. He actually only had maybe this one hit, but he did it so well. He sang a tune that was a little bit of a throwback to Teddy Roosevelt, to the early 1900s, a memory of something that was invented in the early 1900s that every child had on their bed. The teddy bear. And a young man from Memphis said, gee, I'd like to sing a song on that. And Elvis did.
Baby, let me be your loving teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck and lead me anywhere. Oh, let it be. Don't wanna be a tiger too rough, 'cause tigers like to rough. Don't wanna be a lion too rough, 'cause lions ain't the kind you rough love enough. Just wanna be your teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck and leave me anywhere. Oh, let it be. Baby, let me be around you every night. Run your fingers through my hair and oh, let me be. Oh, let it be. Don't wanna be a tiger too rough, 'cause tigers like too rough. Don't wanna be a lion too rough, 'cause lions ain't the kind you do rough. Oh no, just wanna be your teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck and leave me anywhere. Oh, let it be. Oh, let me be. Oh, let it be your teddy bear. Just wanna be your teddy bear.
Thank you. Welcome. Let's see. I have a few things I need to say. Number one is in 2 weeks, the next show here, if I get this right, it'll be a miracle. The Steve Rudolph Trio. Don't check on me. 99% sure I got that right. He might be Steven. I think I got the rest. So come out, back again. No show next week. 4th of July. If you show up here, the door's locked. You're going to be very sad. It's going to be a heartbreaking experience. But tonight, not a heartbreaking experience, except when it comes to this next song. You know, what 99% of all songs from 1945 to now, what are they about?
Heartbreak.
Thank you. Absolutely correct. Love. So this next song is about a gentleman who's basically pining vocally. Good way.
I haven't heard you say that before. That sounds okay.
Pining. Pining is a word that doesn't get used very often anymore. I wanted to, reintroduce it.
True.
You pine. I can tell. This is a gentleman who pines frequently. You're just being yourself. Anybody here speak Italian fluently?
Good.
Perfect. This next song was originally done by a group called Jay and the Americans. Oh yeah, you guys are familiar with Jay and the Americans. Did you know that there were 2 Jays? 2 Jays. Jay Trainer was the original Jay. They had one hit with Jay Trainer.
Right.
Jay said, if you don't name the group just me, like Jay Trainer, I'm out of here. So they said, see you later. We can find another Jay. And guess what? They did. His name wasn't Jay.
No, I was going to ask, is that the one who had some operatic training?
Good question. Hold on to that question. He may have an answer for you.
We do have an answer. Jay Trainer did have operatic training.
So,
And he went on to offer no one again.
right, yes, exactly. He made no money, and we have no idea. I don't think he even has a wiki page. But the second J was actually named David. And that didn't really work. David and the Americans. Now that works for me. It's David. That's not what we're talking about here. We're still back on Jay and the Americans. All right. I'm getting.
No, you're not. No, this is very entertaining.
So David changes his name to Jay, and awesome. Huge hits, 5, 6, number 1s.
David Black to
David
Jay Black.
Yeah, Jay
They
Black.
changed both names.
So there you have it, the history of Jay and the Americans. Does anyone remember the name of any of the Americans? Nope. it's might as well ask for a miracle from Smokey Robinson, the Miracles. Hate to say it, but none of us remember those second tier pining folks underneath. You know, they wanted to be the famous person, but not quite. This song, though, back to that great lead-in, not in Italian, but has an Italian flair to it. Has an operatic side to this song. You probably remember it. It's Cara Mia.
Oh, yeah.
Cara mia, must we say goodbye? Each time we part, my heart wants to die. Darling, hear my prayer. Cara mia fair. I'll be your love till the end of time. Till the end of time. Cara mia mine, cara mia mine, cara mia mine, cara mia mine, cara mia. Must we say goodbye? Each time we part, my heart wants to die. Darling, hear my prayer. Cara mia fair. I'll be your love till the end of time. Till the end of time. Cara mia mine, cara mia mine, cara mia mine, cara mia mine. Each time we part, my heart wants to die. Cara mia, cara mia, darling, hear my prayer. Cara mia fair. I'll be your love till the end of time. Till the end of time. Cara mia mine, 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 cara mia mine.
Distinguished Andrew Cranen, and he says he has had no to date operatic training of any kind, you know, notwithstanding that fabulous solo. He is the only guy in the group who requires not one but two houses. You know, he has one in up here in the metropolitan area, you know, and then another one is sort of a leisure home with servants and attendants down on the Cape. But they live well. You know, they do. They really do. Okay. I know with this group, I can toss out this little brain teaser with confidence that you'll be all over it. I give you two names: the Capulets and the Montague.
Oh, boy, yes.
All over it. Romeo and Juliet. And we know, really from high school, and you might not have gotten all the way through the play in high school, I'm not sure I did. But I had another chance in college, I got there, and I've seen, since then, seen it a couple of times, and read it, you know, a couple of times more, even more recently. I have, you know. And Bill Shakespeare did a wonderful job on the thing. And that's why it's lasted since 1565, I think, when he wrote the thing. But you know, how should we say, do we dare be critical of his eminence? No, we shouldn't, but we thought we'd offer a little bit peppier version. I mean, it's kind of a downer, you know, the Romeo and Juliet tale. It's unhappy. I mean, I'm stating the fact. And this one that we offer, musically, soloed by our first tenor and arranger, Gene Blake, Romeo and Juliet.
Frequently we bypass listening to the words carefully, but here's a guy who's worried that maybe his girlfriend thinks that he's not being totally loyal to her or whatever. And he says to her, look, how well do you have to know me? I've known you for a long time. You know me. I'm not going to go out there and do something negative to our family or do something to our romance. He said, I hope that you trust me as much as I trust you. And those are very, very sweet words to have. But he said, if you don't know me by now, maybe we've got a problem. So he's out there pleading with his girlfriend to make certain that their lockage is very, very tight. So if you don't know me by now.
All the things that we've been through, you should understand me like I understand you. Now girl, I know the difference between right and wrong. I ain't gonna do nothing to break up our happy home. Oh, don't get so excited when I come home a little late at night, 'cause we only act like children when we argue, fuss and fight. If you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. No, you'll never know me. If you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. Ooh, we all got our own funny moods. I got mine, and woman, you got yours too. Just trust in me, like I trust in you. As long as we've been together, that should be so easy to do. Oh, just get yourself together. Oh, we might as well say goodbye. What good is a love affair when we can't see eye to eye? If you don't know me, you will never, never, never know me. No, you'll never know me. If you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me.
All right, thank you very much, very nice.
Well done.
This next tune was made a hit in, seems like only yesterday, 1961. Maybe before your time, but, great number nonetheless. It was made a hit by Ray Charles, and it's got a snappy tune, Unchain My Heart. But you ought to listen. You know the tune, it's snappy, it's upbeat. Our soloist, Andrew, does a fabulous job on the thing. But you ought to listen a little bit to the lyrics. The lyrics are very clever, and they're kind of right on it, in terms of getting the word across, getting the message here. They work very, very well. The tune was written by a guy named Bobby Sharp, and unfortunately, at the time, this is in the late 50s, before...
Honey, I'll be home in a few minutes.
And before it was released, it was, he had fallen on hard times, Bobby Sharp, the writer. And so he sold the tune. He was an addicted guy at the time, and so when he sold it for $50. And the tune went on to be a chart breaker, not once, but several times afterwards. Joe Cocker had a big hit with it, and a number of others did too. It's a great, great number. And the good news is that Bobby Sharp straightened out, and then fought over time, a lot of time, to recover his position or some portion thereof, and did. Because in 1987, he was restored, title and ownership to the rights to Unchain My Heart. So good for him. Happy ending it, yeah? Unchain My Heart. Da 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 da.
Unchain my heart,
Unchain my heart,
baby, let me be.
unchain my heart,
Unchain my heart,
unchain my heart,
'cause you don't care about me.
unchain my heart, to do it.
You got me sort of like a pillowcase, but you let my love go to waste. So unchain my heart, baby, set me free. Unchain my heart,
Unchain my heart,
baby, let me go.
unchain my heart,
Unchain my heart,
unchain my
yeah,
heart,
you won't love me no more.
unchain my heart, to do it.
Every time I call you on the phone, some fella tells me that you're not at home. So unchain my heart, please set me free. I'm under your spell,
I'm under your spell,
like a man in a train.
man in a train.
But I know darn well,
Yes, I know darn well.
yeah, that I don't stand a chance. So unchain my heart,
Unchain my heart,
let me go my way.
unchain my heart,
Unchain my heart,
unchain my heart,
yeah, you worry me night and day.
unchain my heart, to do it.
Why put me through a life of misery when you don't care a bag of beans for me? So unchain my heart, baby, set me free.
Please set me free.
No, I ain't playing your game.
Please set me free.
You're driving me insane.
Please set me free.
I wanna break these chains. Please set me free. Thank you so much. Once again, we are Peking and the Mystics. It's probably a good time to mention that you are able to take a small piece of this group home with you, if you wish. These are 3 of our 5 albums. We can probably produce 4 of our 5 albums this evening. This one goes back about, 15 years. This one maybe 8 years. This one, hot off the press, Gratitude. It expresses our thankfulness for the opportunity to do this, to know one another, to have been afforded the chance to sing by, well, our wives, for starters, and so many supporters and audience members through the.
Andrew,
Well,
do we have a special deal on tonight?
well, I think that will.
CDs.
I think that. Oh, that won't be covered next. Yes, we do have a special deal. $10 per CD, or 2 for $25.
Retirement now.
Exactly. $10 we would, and you know what? If you don't want to buy a CD, it's really not a problem. Please come and just say hello after the show. We are also streaming with our latest album, and that's on Spotify. Any Spotify users out here? Good.
And
Excellent.
Apple.
Excellent. You can lead a seminar when we're done on, on how Spotify loads and all of that.
Playlists.
Well, this gentleman is not a fan of Spotify. He's gone.
Oh, you're streaming. I'm out of here.
The good thing about Spotify is, you pay one fee and then you can listen to anybody you want, including Peking and the Mystics, at no additional cost. So you save yourself the $10 for the CD. Yes.
How'd you get the name of your group?
Oh, it's an excellent question. I wasn't going to go there.
We can feature that later.
You know what? We will cover that later. There's great debate and some controversy over how the name came about.
We'll reflect.
I am not suited to answer that question because I've only been a member of the group for 42 years. And Junior, the group has been together for 51. So we do have some slightly more senior members who can address that topic. Our next song is kind of the reverse of what you often see. There's a hit right out of the chute, and everybody loves the tune, and then other artists start to glom on, and they do covers of that hit, right? This song took a decidedly opposite route. It never caught on through 3 or 4 iterations with really, really great artists. Glenn Campbell took a stab at this tune. It didn't work. Then a little-known Australian group, at least at the time, the Bee Gees, took their shot at this next song, crashed and burned. Finally, the Lettermen, I hope you know the name the Lettermen, they were a revered group in the 60s. They did a take on this song. It also didn't catch. Until finally a group called the Vogues, which are perhaps best known for the song 5 O'Clock World, which is also on our latest CD. They took on this tune and made a huge hit out of it. It's called Turn Around, Look at Me.
There is someone walking behind you. Turn around, look at me. And there's someone to care, watching your footsteps. Someone out there. Turn around, look at me. There is someone who really needs you. Here's my heart in my hand. Turn around, look at me, understand. But there's someone standing beside you. Turn around, look at me. And there's someone, I'll be a friend, right like the end, you can depend. Turn around, look at me. Oh, I've waited, but I'll wait forever, just for you to come to me. Look at someone who really loves you, yeah, loves you. Turn around, look at me. Turn around, look at me. Look at me.
Former resident of Wellesley, but have moved some time ago. But this is really familiar to come back to the old haunts here and see good friends like Sandy and Louise McGinnis and others who are here today. Thank you very much for coming. Just a couple of more notes to the background of the history of the group, just for your interest. Betty was mentioned already. If it was, let me know. But all of us went to Tufts University as students, but no two of us were there at the same time at all. So we're talking about quite a span of years between the oldest guy and the youngest guy here. And we all, when we were there at Tufts, they have a men's singing group, sort of a weapon-proof type song group called the Beelzebubs. And we all sang various different years, of course, but we all sang in that Tufts group called the Beelzebubs.
Let me correct him for a moment. I often refer to the Whiffin' Poofs as a Beelzebubs type song.
In any event, the closeness within the Beelzebub community, and there are now over 300 different Beelzebubs that have sung in the group, is very close and very tight. And of course, this group, as was mentioned earlier, has been together for a long time. And it just goes to show that the power of music can go a long, long way. So again, thank you very much for coming. We're going to have a little game with you now before we sing. Are there any people here who are bird watchers? Bird watchers, but not
Ornithologists.
Well, this next song, which is called Rockin' Robin, you might have heard Rockin' Robin. Bobby Day did this back in the late 50s. In any event, here's the contest. You have to count the number of bird species that we sing in this text. You're not allowed to count the same species twice, so if you've done robin once, you can't do robin again. So there are different species, and whoever comes up with the right number, and we're going to ask you to make a guess in a few minutes, will win one of our highly prized CDs that is right. All right, so this is Rockin' Robin. Listen very carefully. Listen to all the words all the way through, and count and tell us how many bird species we mentioned.
Robin is one.
It's a gift. It's all a gift.
Coo, tweedly, tweet, tweet, tweet. Coo, tweedly, tweet, tweet, tweet. Coo, coo, tweedly, tweet, 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 tweedly.
He rocks in the treetops on the day long, hopping and bopping, he's a singing song. Oh, the birdies on Chamber Street, oh, dear, Robin, oh, tweet, 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 Robin, tweet, tweet, rock, tweet, Robin, now rock, tweet, 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 well now, oh, rockin' Robin, we're really gonna rock it tonight. Tweet, 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 every little swallow, every turkey, every little birdie and the dog tree that was down, a big fat crow, from the wind, sing a bird, blow rock, tweet, tweet, rock, rockin' Robin, rockin' tweet, 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 well now, oh, rockin' Robin, we're really gonna rock it tonight. What? Everybody's got to guess. Everybody's got to guess. Here we go.
I get 9.
You got 9.
You gotta find out who the guy is.
Hang on.
It may not be legitimate, then you live in wealthy.
Na, 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 na. So how many hands now go down because 9 is off the table?
Yes, sir. 8, he says. 8. This gentleman says 8. Great guess. Great guess. Incorrect. And incorrect, yes.
How about the lady wearing
Over here.
sunglasses
10.
indoors?
10. Intro to that song.
Don't give it away. We're going to do this again.
Tweedly tweet tweet tweet, cuckoo tweet.
That escapes us.
There's a bunch of them. They happen fast.
Yes. Okay. So now, okay. Look, in 1963, Sally Friend was a gigantic star in the UK. And I know you've all got her LP at home, Greatest Hits of Sally Friend. Sally had a fantastic voice, and she was sort of above the point where someone would just send her a song and she'd sing it. No, someone had to make a demo of it. And send it to her. She'd think about it for 3 or 4 months and then decide if she were going to record it or not. That's how big she was. Well, okay, the band showed up in a UK studio, a London studio, to record the demo. The Squires. The Squires showed up to record it, and unfortunately the piano player had the night before maybe the gig had lasted a little too long. And so he didn't show. So the drummer runs across the street to a pub and grabs the piano player and brings it back to the studio. And that piano player lays down the piano track on this next song. They paid him 20 pounds. And he took that 20 pounds and he hired a lyricist and he bought some great big sunglasses, and the next 50 years were great for Elton John. Well, Elton is just his backstory on this next song, because when the demo was made by a young man from Wales and his group, the Squires, well, a producer heard it and said, no, forget sending this to anyone else. Tom Jones, this is going to be your biggest hit. We're going to do it for you now. It's not unusual.
Oh, yeah.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. When I see you out and about with anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry. It's not unusual to go out at any time. But when I see you out and about, it's such a crime. If you should ever want to be loved by anyone, it's not unusual, it happens every day. No matter what they say, you'll find it happens all the time. Love will never do what you want to do. Why can't this crazy love be born?
It's not unusual to be mad, mad, mad with anyone. It's not unusual to be sad, sad, sad with anyone.
But if I ever find that you changed at any time, it's not unusual to find that I'm in love with you. Whoa, whoa,
the name of the group. It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
And this is the least.
If you happen to buy 2
qualified
CDs for $25, we'll definitely tell you where it is. Even if it's wrong, we'll tell you how. So there are many stories. One is it just appeared. It appeared. Out of pure thin air. Just appeared. I don't buy it. I don't get it. How do you get a name? 4 words? It's too much. The other one is that one of our original members is a native of Hong Kong. All right, maybe somewhere in that genealogy, history, geography lesson, there's something there. I still don't buy it. I'm not going.
You mean that didn't happen?
No, it happened, but the name did not happen.
You mean because?
Ray exists as a person.
Yes.
Ray Tang, like gentleman who was in this room.
We don't know though, it could have happened.
A Hong Kongian. Now,
Thank God he's not with us anymore. Well, he's on
He's
Earth,
with us.
but he's not in the group anymore because then we'd have overlap. We'd
Yes.
have a couple of guys who sang together, which we could never have.
cannot have that. That's unacceptable. So the last viable option is who here grew up inside of 128 or Route 95, depending on how old you are. So you may remember that there is a group of Chinese food restaurants, and each one was near a river. So there was Peking on the Charles, there was Peking on the Saugus.
On fresh pond, not fresh pond. That was a pond.
He's so young that he doesn't really know the history. There were three Peking.
Saugus and Charles.
There were three
I'm being
Peking
corrected for
restaurants.
something I didn't even say.
Peking on the Mystic, Peking at Prudential, and Peking on Fresh Pond. Those were the three. There's no Saugus, there's no...
My story's much better than
No
yours.
Saugus, no Saugus, no nothing.
You with your Google. My story isn't my story much better? Those are actual rivers. Little ponds, it might as well be a swamp. Peking on the swamp.
That's right.
Who wants to eat there?
Peking on the Quabbin.
On the Quad. Now that sounds pretty. I'm a Western Mass guy. Anybody else from Western Mass? There we go. One stalwart,
Where from?
413 person.
Long Meadow?
Oh!
Born, not born.
You're paisans.
Yes. And now we're here. And I'm a Welsing resident.
Great, absolutely.
I think you probably moved here before I did. Am I right?
Yes.
Who knows? Who knows? All right. On to the music. Small group from the UK, the Beatles. You heard of them?
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of hits. No big deal. No big deal. Kind of rock and roll. It was really very controversial. It was hip motion. But their haircuts were they were very nice for the first 5 years. Then, woo! Off the rails. Sgt. Pepper, and then everything, playing the record backwards. He did this. I know he did this. He tried to play it backwards, even if he had to use his hand. So this next one is kind of falls into that love music category. So what can't you buy?
Love.
Can't buy me love, love can't buy me love.
I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it makes you feel alright.
Yeah.
I'll give you anything, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. Now, 'cause I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love. I'll give you all I got to give if you say you love that.
Say you love me
I'll
too.
clean up how you belong to you. I'll give it to you.
'Cause I don't care too
Much for money,
money can't buy me,
love.
can't buy me love.
Everybody tell us so.
Can't buy me love. No, 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 no.
Say
That's
I don't
what I want.
That's satisfied.
what I want.
Now tell me that you want the
What I want.
the money.
That's what I buy. I don't care too
Much for money.
money can't buy me who. The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees I need.
That's what I want.
That's what I want to.
That's what I want.
Maybe I care too.
Much for money.
But money can't buy me.
Love.
Can't buy me love. Dead to that love. Can't buy me love. Oh.
You don't want to listen at all to what the last guy said about the name. There's no idea what the name of it is. We never went to Peking on the Mystic. We never sang there. And it's not true that that's where the name came from. But don't ask me what the right answer is, because I don't know either. It's been a great mystery here, but it's a great question.
Tim is actually allergic to Asian food.
Could be. Anyway, Smokey Robinson of the Miracles, you've heard about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Smokey Robinson did a lot of great songs over the years. And we're going to do Second That Emotion, but one time, where does the name of that song come from, which is kind of interesting. And he and his buddy Al were out registering because Smokey wanted to buy a piece of jewelry for his girlfriend / wife at that stage. And he saw a wonderful pearl necklace come by, and Smokey said, boy, she would certainly like that. And the store owner said, yeah, that would really go very well. And Al, the buddy standing there, not paying a thing, said, I second that emotion. So before you know it, they turned around and went back to the studio and made this song with that title, Second That Emotion.
Maybe you wanna give me kisses sweet, but only for one night with a no repeat.
Oh, sugar Judy.
Maybe you'll go away and never call, but a taste of love is worse than none at all. Oh, little girl, in that case I don't want no part. I do believe that would only break my heart. Oh, but if you feel like loving me, if you got the notion, I second that emotion. So if you feel like giving me a lifetime of devotion, I second that emotion. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Maybe you think that love was made for fools. You don't have the time to hang around. Maybe you think that love was made for fools, and so it makes you wise to break the rules. Oh, little girl, in that case I don't want no part. I do believe that would only break my heart. Oh, but if you feel like loving me, if you got the notion, I second that emotion. So if you feel like giving me a lifetime of devotion, I second that emotion. Ooh, ba-da-da-ba, ba-da-ba, 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 ooh, ba-da-da. Oh, honey, in that case I don't want no part. I do believe that would only break my heart. Oh, if you feel like loving me, if you got the notion, I second that emotion. So if you feel like giving me a lifetime of devotion, I second that emotion. Ba-da-ba, I second that emotion. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, I second that emotion.
I probably shouldn't tell you this, but occasionally a tune will have one harken, this note, harken back to, one's college years. And the storyline here occasionally rings that bell, in my memory bank. But the story, what is the story? This one is come a little bit closer. It's by Jay and the Americans. And it tells the story of an unrequited love, very serious, albeit brief in time. But it's about a guy who was down south of the border, and he happens into a tavern one night and is completely smitten, bowled over by the bar mistress. So and she seems to be encouraging it, or at least he perceives it that way. And so they start to wink and blink and nod and so on for it, which is, it doesn't end well. Why is that? It's because, unbeknownst to our soloist protagonist here, the bar mistress had long been previously spoken for. By none other than Bethany and Jose. This has come a little bit closer.
In a little cafe, just the other side of the border. She was sitting there giving me looks that made my mouth water. So I started walking her way. She belonged to that man Jose, and I knew, yes, I knew I should leave. Then I heard her say, yeah, yeah, come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man, so big and so strong, come a little bit closer. I'm all alone, and the night is so long. So we started to dance in my arms. She felt so inviting. And I just couldn't resist her, just one little kiss, so exciting. Then I heard the guitar player say, hey, vamos, Jose's on his way. And I knew, yes, I knew I should run, but then I heard her say, yeah, yeah, come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man, so big and so strong, come a little bit closer. I'm all alone, and the night is so long. When I looked, the cafe was empty. Then I heard Jose say, man, you know you're in trouble, plenty. So I dropped that drink from my hand, and como el pollo I ran. And then suddenly I could hear her say to Jose, yeah, yeah, come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man, so big and so strong, come a little bit closer. I'm all alone, and the night is so long. Come a little bit closer. I'm all alone, and the night is so long.
We're going to close with another Elvis tune. This one, actually, it's interesting. Elvis had, if you have Elvis's greatest #1 hits CD or album, yes. And it says right on it, Elvis's 30 #1 hits. How many songs are on Elvis's 30 #1 hits? 31! 31, because this next song was used in a show, in a movie, that came out in 2008 and went right back to the top of the charts. And therefore, as they were making that album, they had pressed everything, done all the work on it, the graphics were done, whatever. They just slid it in. There are 31 tunes, and this next one is on it. It's a great Elvis hit, and I can't remember the title of it. I can remember the title, but I'm not going to tell you.
Pretty much sings for itself.
City gonna set my soul, gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women, we know that. They're all living on the devil they can. Oh, just the devil with love. Viva Las Vegas, Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, Las Vegas. Wish that there were more than a 24 hours in the day. There were 40 more. I wouldn't sleep a minute away. There's blackjack and poker in a roulette wheel. Frozen won and lost on every game. It all takes a strong heart, nervous system. Viva Las Vegas, Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas with the neon flashing and the one-eyed singing all your hopes down the train. Oh, Las Vegas, turning day, the nighttime, turning night in the daytime. If you see it once, it'll never be the same again. Gonna have me some fun if it costs me my very last dime. If I don't broke, well I'll always remember that I had a swing in time. I'm gonna give it everything I got. Lady luck, please let the dice stay high. Let me shoot a 7 on every show. Viva Las Vegas, Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, Las Vegas. Viva, viva Las Vegas.
So therefore, you have to sing along, okay? There is a note, yeah. You. Yeah.
Ba 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 ba